What do I think of Battlefield 5 in August 2019? The following is filmed in portrait rather than landscape because I'm an absolute amateur at YouTube. Okay. Much better. Also, yes, the grass does need cutting. Yes, it's possible multiple people just saw me do that. And yes, the girl in the shop did ask me if I wanted a different pepper, and I had to try to explain why that wasn't necessary. You're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. I'm GetGoodGuy, and a while back, hold on. And a while back, I made a video about how the latest update for Battlefield 5 at that time was a bad joke. Well, today, I'm officially stamping Battlefield 5 itself as being a bad joke. Get it? Stamping? It's not my best joke, but was it worth the effort of doing a physical demonstration for me, or indeed for you, for this video? Probably not. But Lord knows I have to try whatever I can to make Battlefield 5 an interesting topic to make a video on these days. Right, so I'm going to make it known here that I've actually recorded the rest of this video already, and DICE have since released something of an apology about what's happened so far, I believe, / what their plan is to try to rectify it. I'm not sure, I haven't watched it yet, but I wanted to be transparent, but also not change what I was going to say just because they've released something else. So I'm not going to alter the rest of this video, as it's completely genuine and still relevant. Not to mention I feel it's important to share the information. And I also don't feel like a statement 10 months down the line from the release of this constant shambles should alter that. If things improve, then great, but right now it changes nothing for me. But I will watch it literally after this, and if I feel like it's worth addressing, then I'll make a video on it separately. Either way, let's carry on with the focus of this video. Now, it's been a while since I talked about the state of Battlefield 5. I kind of just got tired of it, to be honest with you, and some of you did as well. But I just have to talk this one out today. The game can't just get a pass as more and more disappointments stack up. And if you don't want to be here for that, then that's cool. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll catch you in the next one. But for those of you who do wish to stay, let's get into this mess. Oh, and the footage today is just random unused stuff from previous videos, such as my one about rushers versus campers. So if some of the play is pretty slow and campy, well, now you know why. So while I'm not going to use this video to bash any individual or anything like that, because I don't want to, when it comes to the companies themselves, EA and DICE, I'm not going to be soft or forgiving at all, because I'm embarrassed at current events, and they should be absolutely ashamed of themselves as a company, as a collective, not necessarily as individuals, of course. And I say that with 100% confidence that some people working on the game, or have worked on the franchise before, will actually totally agree. There will be people who are completely sick of the incompetence that they worked with or had to work with before, because this is an absolute joke. A really bad one. It's like when you're throwing out flippant comments like, oh, imagine if the roadmap is wrong, or if there's another delay, or what if that content gets cancelled? Yeah, no, not a joke. This all happens, and frequently. Still up to this day, after they've taken all of that money for purchases, all of this time later, it's still an embarrassing mess, and it keeps getting worse. It's barely a joke. Honestly, it's barely a bad joke. It just isn't funny anymore. It's insulting for the customer base. And I'm not surprised that player numbers seem to be really low. You may have heard some of the recent issues from other content creators, of course, because I don't race them for Battlefield news anymore because, well, what's the point? But I'll pull it all together for you so you can get a clear image of how bad it all is. Let's refresh your memory. So we still don't have Al Sundan Conquest, like 2 or 3 months later or whatever it is, due to some bug with some big black blob in the sky or whatever, some graphical glitch. And honestly, I saw those black graphical glitches way back near release on this game, on other maps. Maybe not as bad, but they happened. And nothing much was really said about them back then. The 5v5 competitive mode that they teased for a long time, then everything went really silent about it. It was supposed to be here this month, and still nothing was said as we approached the end of the month. Well, if you haven't heard, it's since been cancelled. This won't bother some of you as you wanted big modes, I get that. But the point is that even more content now isn't arriving to the game. Or it's been repurposed, as they're saying, whatever that means, we still don't know. They're possibly just referring to the maps being used for other modes now, which I think is what people wanted anyway, but again, what a mess. And we didn't get this information until right around the deadline of when they were supposed to deliver the content. And And what's more, I heard the info from Westy, not even from an official DICE source. I don't know if they said anything before him or not, but the very first mention I saw of that mode after weeks of absolute silence was from a content creator, which is just poor. Content creators are almost becoming the scapegoats of all this, besides the community managers who are getting completely battered, of course, and it probably sucks for them every single day. And the planned weapons for it need to be rebalanced and whatever other problems and delays this causes. I probably shouldn't even be surprised by things like this anymore, but I really didn't expect them to just say absolutely nothing for so long and then just scrap it. It just seems unprofessional and not consumer friendly. It would be okay if this was a one-off instance, maybe we'd be annoyed, but whatever, let it go. But when it adds to everything else that's happened and keeps happening, well, the consumer just isn't going to accept it anymore. I said something on Twitter the other day about people complaining about other people moaning about bugs, but then also moaning when there are delays, and about how I feel like that's not even the problem anymore. It's not even relevant. It doesn't matter which one it is. It's that the game has been out for this long and it's still going wrong. The players have a right to be disappointed and frustrated. For example, say you bought a physical item from a store, but it had faults, and it won't be in working order as promised until those are fixed. It doesn't matter to you if it's the faults or the delays or whatever. After a certain amount of time, you'll have had enough, and you'll feel like you got a bad deal. And more often than not, you then won't go back to that shop again. Something which game developers and publishers actually don't suffer from anywhere near as much. Well, it being a game, it not being a physical product, at least not if you downloaded it, doesn't matter. It's the same as buying a physical product. We don't care what the problems are anymore, we just care that we're not getting what we were promised. I also think right now that a whole update has been delayed by a week or something. Honestly, I struggle to keep up with it anymore, but the new maps or something like that, I don't even know. It's just all delays, bugs, and disappointments. But yeah, there's another delay of some kind right now. And we're still waiting on these private servers so people can actually set up competitive games, or play how they want to, or avoid stream snipers, or whatever else. We're still waiting on that max rank increase from 50, which most people have been at for nearly 3/4 of a year now. There's the seemingly cancelled customization, cancelled body dragging. Where's the vehicle skin customization? Why is everything also so vague? Fixes are coming when? Content is coming when? What are the issues and plans? Do they know themselves? It's always just soon, or later, or planned, or that month, or that quarter. We regularly don't know specifically when we're going to get something, and even if it's going to turn up on time anyway. So the community never knows what it's even supposed to be excited about, or if it's worth sticking around anymore. And so most people don't. Most people go to a different game, and I can't blame them. And then when you are excited about something you think is coming, you can be wrong, as it can be changed or reworded or whatever else. Or the roadmap might even be wrong, as we've discovered recently. I'm not going to pull it all up and show it and try to make out like it's a bigger deal than it actually is, but it does say a lot about either DICE's poor communication, incompetence, or flat out lies. Maybe all of the above, who's to know anymore? Because a roadmap that was released to the public some time ago said that we're due new vehicles and gadgets, and that's actually entirely false. We aren't getting any until the Pacific is added. So either that's a total excuse and it isn't true, or their communication is all kinds of messed up and nobody noticed between the roadmap being released and now that the content advertised on it is actually not at all the case. I personally don't know which answer is worse. So how much can they get wrong? And where did the problems stem from? One of my main issues is people saying, well, they turned around Battlefield 4 and look at it now. Yeah, to me, that's not okay. And to most people, that's no longer okay. Because why assume that they can pull off another miracle? Why assume that the same people or the right people are in place to make that happen again? And why is it okay for this game to release in a bad state multiple times in the series? Either DICE don't know what they're doing or they aren't given enough time and resources. Whichever it is, the customer is suffering for it. The series is suffering for it, and the reputation of this game is being rapidly destroyed, and nobody is laughing, apart from maybe other games that are looking to get a larger market share. I mean, just look at how many players and content creators are searching for other games right now. I couldn't blame people for wondering why they would even hold out any hope anymore. If you still do, then I'm happy for you, and I hope you get what you want at some point. I really truly do. But I don't really have any now. It's gone. I held at least some for a long time, and I've let it go. And many of you are already aware that this game is just kind of tiding me over now until I can cover something else. Something I'm personally angry about, to be honest with you, as I've loved covering this series for the past 3 years or so, and I want to still feel like that, but I truly don't. I don't really want to play the game very often, and I'm kind of out of ideas of content I want to make on it. I don't want to force myself, so a lot of the time I don't. I'm just planning for future stuff now. So what are we supposed to believe anymore? That the pattern of the last 10 months is suddenly going to be broken? That as we draw closer and closer to a new Battlefield or to other games, just making this one irrelevant, that DICE are going to put enough resources into this game to suddenly overtake the rate at which new problems are always arising? Are we supposed to believe it's a miscommunication to blame for a lot of these things? Are we supposed to believe that nobody noticed about the roadmap? Or about the wrong rewards coming out for Tides of War? Or the wrong skin being available? Or all the other mistakes? Are we supposed to believe a single word we hear now, after the broken promises, after the mixed messages, after the Stairway to Heaven Easter egg debacle or whatever it was called, after some of the mechanics that were shown in the release trailer got cancelled, after the removal of all UK servers, after the months and months of hacking, especially in Asia, with seemingly almost nothing changing, after the excuses about frontlines and domination being removed as permanent modes, and DICE trying to make out it has nothing to do with the overall player numbers for the game being low. It's ridiculous. It's actually kind of insulting at this point, and I'm genuinely embarrassed to still be seen as solely a Battlefield content creator, and I can't wait to fix that in the coming few months with the encouraging signs being shown by some big new releases. DICE and EA, you better act fast, you better make some good decisions, and you better start putting things in place to rectify these problems. If not in this game, then certainly in ones to come, because you just might kill this franchise. You really might. And that's what I have to say today. I don't want to drag this rant out for longer than I need to. I think I've said my piece now. I'm clearly very frustrated with this, and I'm tired of this being the most relevant content to make for this game. It's a joke. It really is. I hope this current pattern alters, but I just don't see it right now. And I hope a mess like this doesn't ever get released again. Either way, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, or at least found it interesting or agreed, the like button welcomes all of your clicks with open arms, as I do for people turning on notifications to stay up to date and not miss future content. And please subscribe, follow me on Mixer at mixer.com/GetGoodGuy. The link is also in the description, and feel free to join my Discord server. Here's the Board of Awesome for the epic people who support the channel on Patreon. They're all absolute heroes, and I love them all deeply and of course, often. If you want to join them on the Board of Awesome, the link to the Patreon page is in the description and my pinned comment. With all that said, I'm GetGoodGuy, and I'll see you next time. Laters.